So, Edward Snowden is one of the most polarizing figures of our time for Gen Z. To some, he's a patriot who risks everything to expose government outreach. To others, he's a traitor who compromised national security. And me personally, I think it was a little bit of both, but I'll go into detail of that later. Before we label him one way or another, we have to look at the facts, though. And what values we do hold as a society. Snowden in 2013 was a former NSA contractor. He leaked thousands of classified documents that revealed extensive surveillance programs conducted by the U.S. government. So that's like really big, and personally, I would want to know that. These programs weren't just targeting suspected terrorists and foreign threats. They were collecting vast amounts of data on ordinary citizens, so like normal citizens like me and you, often without a warrant. So for some Americans and people around the world, it was the first time they realized the true scale of modern surveillance and like how it was, whatever it's called, like coming into our world, and like we just didn't even know it. So like honestly, like there could be like a camera in your house and surveillance footage going, and you just don't know it, or like your house could be bugged and you just don't know it. That's kind of what I'm getting at. But if we consider what Snowden exposed, programs like Prism allowed the government to access emails, chats, and other data from major technology companies without individual warrants. So like for us, for Gen Z, it'd be like Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, any like of those things. Like they were able to access it without a warrant. So the metadata was being collected in bulk, and who we called when and for how long we did. So like normal phone calls. Like say like I called my dad and I was on the phone with him for like 30 minutes. They had all of that information and everything. They could probably track where I was when I called him too. They weren't just hypothetical violations of privacy. They were happening in massive global scale. So it was happening all over the world, including the U.S., but mainly in the U.S. Now, some people do call Snowden a hero, point to the very real impact his leaks had. His actions sparked an international conversation about privacy, surveillance, and government transparency. It did lead to legal challenges, court rulings, and legislation. In 2015, the USA Freedom Act was passed, limiting the government's ability to collect bulk phone records, something that might have never happened without Snowden's revelations, like his reveal. So honestly, like there's a pro and con to that. Like, yeah, he did go and leak government access and like all the profiles and everything, but he also leaked something and brought like awareness to the whole country that, yeah, like your records are being pulled, like phone records are being pulled. But we can't ignore the other side of the story either. Like, he didn't just leak information to the press. He took a massive trove of he took a massive amount of classified documents and fled to Hong Kong and eventually Russia. Intelligence officials argue that his leaks harm national securities, and it did expose operational details and damage relationships with foreign allies. They believe he did bypass the proper channels for whistleblowing, choosing instead to make himself a global figure. So it's like kind of our part to choose now. Like, is he a traitor or is he a hero? Me personally, I do think he's a little bit of both. He did betray the trust of an agency he worked for. He broke laws designed to protect national security, but he also revealed like the abuse of power that the public had the right to know. Like if I found out someone had my phone records and everything, I'd want to know, because that's just weird. Like, why do you need our conversations? He sacrificed his freedom, his career, and his homeland security, but he believed it was for the greater good. Ultimately, like, the question isn't about Snowden. It's honestly about us. Like, how much do we value our privacy enough to challenge the state overreach? Do we accept living in a world where surveillances are the norm? And or like, do we believe that security requires secrecy, even at the cost of civil liberties? I don't think so. I value my privacy. If you know me, you know I value my privacy a lot. I do not like when other people are like with me or like just in my business. Like unless like I open up to them. But otherwise, I do value my privacy a lot. So like I think like him outing the U.S. government did help a lot. Like, but, yeah. But people can call him a traitor or a hero, but he changed the way we think about freedom, privacy, and the power of the state and how it's ran.